A courtroom gavel falls, not with a bang, but with a single decisive click on a keyboard. An ex-husband's plea for $150,000 is denied. He claims he's facing homelessness, while his ex-wife is reportedly earning $250,000 a month. This isn't just a divorce. It's the new Hollywood battleground.
Welcome to Starscope Report, where we uncover the drama, the deals, and the decisions shaping pop culture.
Join us, Jordan and Jamie, as we dive deep into the stories behind the fame. Today, we're unpacking the high-stakes divorce of Denise Richards and Aaron Phypers, a case that's rewriting the rules on celebrity wealth in the digital age.
Our deep dive is based on a mountain of court filings, legal analysis, and financial reports. And the mission today is to figure out how a judge could deny such a desperate plea for cash and what this all means for the future of digital fortunes.
Okay, let's unpack this. The whole story really hinges on this incredible contrast in their financial situations.
Yeah.
It's just night and day.
Absolutely. On one side, you have Denise Richards. Her net worth is estimated around $6 million, which is significant. But it's her cash flow that's the real headline.
Right, the cash flow is the shocking part. Reports and Phypers' own court filings claim she's pulling in about $250,000 per month.
And the vast majority of that, between $200,000 and $300,000 a month, is coming from her OnlyFans account. So her annual income is floating somewhere around $3 million.
Just staggering. Now, compare that to Aaron Phypers. What's his situation?
Well, according to his own sworn statement in court, he's had, and I quote, zero income since late 2024.
Zero.
Yeah. That's when he closed his wellness business, the Quantum 360 Club. So he's essentially gone from a high-flying lifestyle to a financial cliff.
And that cliff led to this huge, dramatic request in court. He filed a motion, an emergency one, asking the judge to force Denise to give him access to $150,000 from their joint accounts.
He said he needed it to survive. He broke it down specifically, $120,000 for back rent.
And another $10,000 for his lawyer. He literally told the court that he and his family were about to be evicted and homeless.
So you hear that and you think, okay, the judge has to grant this, right? It's an emergency. But he didn't.
Nope. The request was denied.
Mm-hmm.
And this is the part that everyone gets wrong. The judge's reason wasn't about whether Phypers was actually broke.
It was about procedure.
Exactly. The official reason was insufficient evidence of immediate loss or damage to property subject to disposition in the case.
Which is a lot of legal jargon. What does that actually mean in plain English?
It means you're using the wrong tool for the job. The judge was basically telling him, this emergency motion isn't a shortcut to get spousal support.
Right. The judge even pointed out that he could file a proper request for things like attorney's fees or temporary spousal support.
He was telling him to get in line and follow the process. You can't just try to grab cash from a joint account because you claim it's an emergency. It shows the court is trying to keep order in what is a very, very messy situation. And the alleged lifestyle they were living makes that zero income claim even more dramatic. Phypers claimed their monthly expenses were around $105,000.
It's an incredible number. The breakdown he provided included things like $25,000 a month on food and groceries.
$25,000.
And another $20,000 a month on clothes. That's the kind of spending that will now be used as a benchmark for his spousal support claim against her massive income.
If you're loving these Hollywood twists, make sure you subscribe to Starscope Report, because what we're about to get into is the part that could change everything for online creators.
Yeah, we're shifting from the immediate cash problem to the real multi-million-dollar question here.
How do you split up an OnlyFans account in a divorce? I mean, this is the legal precedent that everyone is watching.
It's a landmark moment. The whole argument boils down to one thing. Is that account a joint business they built together during the marriage? Or is it just a modern extension of her own personal brand and intellectual property, which she had for decades before she even met him?
Phypers is obviously arguing it's a joint venture. He's demanding a 50-50 split of all the income.
And his legal argument is pretty clever. He's not just saying he was supportive, he claims he helped produce the content, and crucially, that he took many of the photos on the page.
So he's claiming copyright ownership of the pictures.
Exactly. He's trying to turn his actions into a divisible, ownable asset. But it's a really tough argument to make.
Yeah, I mean, how do you prove that? And even if he did take some photos, is that where the value really comes from?
Well, that's the core of Richards' defense. Her team is basically saying the value isn't in the photograph, it's in the person in the photograph. It's her fame from movies like Wild Things, her time on Real Housewives. That's her pre-existing brand equity.
It's her identity that people are paying for, not his photography skills.
Precisely. If the judge agrees with that, his claim to half of that massive income stream just sort of evaporates. It creates this huge gray area for any creator, any influencer, anyone whose income is tied to their personal brand.
That's not even the wildest part. This entire financial fight is happening against a backdrop of some really serious, really dark allegations.
This divorce is incredibly high conflict. We're talking about claims of domestic abuse that have led to arrests and restraining orders.
In November of 2025, Denise was granted a 5-year restraining order against him. She claimed in court that he gave her at least 3 concussions and that he almost killed her multiple times during their relationship.
Phypers has denied all of those allegations vehemently, but the situation escalated even further.
Right. On October 17th, 2025, he was actually arrested in the courthouse while attending a hearing for this very case.
He was arrested on a felony warrant. The charges are incredibly serious. 2 felony counts of injuring a spouse and 2 felony counts of dissuading a witness by force or threat. He was released on $200,000 bail.
So help us understand the legal distinction here. You've got the civil restraining order, and then you have these criminal felony charges. How do they relate?
It's a vital difference. The restraining order is a civil matter. It's about prevention and safety. The judge there operates on a preponderance of the evidence standard, which is a lower bar. It's about reducing risk now.
So it's not about guilt, it's about creating space.
Exactly. The felony charges, on the other hand, are criminal. That's the state versus Phypers. And to get a conviction, they need to prove guilt beyond a reasonable doubt, which is a much higher standard. The two things run on parallel tracks.
It's just an incredibly volatile situation. And when we look at that, it makes his financial problem seem even more complicated.
Right, because to really understand that desperate $150,000 request, you have to realize the divorce isn't his only financial fire. He was already in deep trouble.
This goes back to before the divorce was even filed.
It does. There's a debt collector after him for $228,000. It stems from a business loan he took out back in 2019 for that quantum epigenetics consulting company.
Okay, so he has this old debt, but how does that connect to Denise Richards?
Well, this is where it gets legally messy. The creditor's trying to argue that because the debt was incurred while they were married, it's community property debt.
And they're trying to garnish her wages to pay for it? They're going after her OnlyFans money?
That is exactly what they're trying to do, and you can see how dangerous that is for her case. If a creditor can prove her income should cover his community debt, it weakens her entire argument that her income is her separate property.
It's a total legal minefield. And if that wasn't enough, there's a whole other lawsuit against him.
Another one. This is a fraud lawsuit filed in late 2024 related to his wellness center. It alleges he misrepresented the effectiveness of stem cell treatments.
The details on this one are pretty wild.
The lawsuit claims he promised a 98% success rate for cancer treatment. A patient paid over $100,000. Her health got worse, and she unfortunately passed away in May 2024.
And now her family is suing him for a refund he allegedly promised if the treatment failed. He denies he ever made that promise.
So when you stack it all up, the divorce, the zero income claim, the old business debt, this new fraud lawsuit, you start to see the full picture. You see why he was so desperate for that $150,000.
So where does this all leave us? You've got the judge's denial of that emergency cash, this landmark legal fight over digital income, and a very serious backdrop of criminal charges and massive prior debt.
I think the final ruling on her OnlyFans income, whether it's marital or separate property, is going to send shockwaves. It will literally define wealth protection for an entire generation of digital creators.
Which leaves us with a final thought for you to consider. Given how messy this has become and how Phypers' claims have so far failed, will the outcome of this case force every major content creator, from A-list celebrities to Twitch streamers, to create ironclad prenups specifically designed to protect their digital identity as a separate business entity? Is this the end of the line for claiming a piece of a spouse's online fame?
It's not just a celebrity divorce anymore. It's a blueprint for the future of digital wealth.
You've been listening to Starscope Report, where Jordan and Jamie uncover the stories shaping Hollywood, music, and pop culture. Thanks for tuning in, and don't forget to subscribe for more stories that keep the stars shining.